Today, we're going to talk about a classic story, Who Moved My Cheese? But we're going to look at it through a very specific lens, the world of sales. Because let's face it, if your entire career is about dealing with constant change, this simple little parable might just be one of the most powerful tools you have. Let's dive in.
I mean, really think about it for a second. The market shifts, your biggest client suddenly walks, your product line gets an update. It's always something. One quarter, you're absolutely crushing your quota, and the next, your entire pipeline just evaporates. This isn't just a hypothetical story. It's a reality that every single one of us in sales has to deal with.
So, to really get this, we have to understand the name metaphor. In our world, cheese is everything we're chasing after. It's that huge commission check, right? It's landing that whale account. It's the steady income from your loyal customers. Or maybe it's just that sales process you've perfected that always seems to work. It's whatever we believe will make us successful.
And we're all looking for this cheese inside what the book calls the maze. Now, the maze is our world. It's our sales territory, the competitive landscape, the internal company politics. You know the drill. But here's the key part. The maze is also our own mind. It's full of our old habits and assumptions that can either guide us to success or keep us trapped right where we are. Okay, so the story gives us 4 characters, and they basically represent the different parts of ourselves when we face change. First, you've got the mice, Sniff who, you guessed it, sniffs out change early, and Scurry who just gets moving and scurries into action. Then you've got the little people, Hem who digs in his heels and resists change, and Haw who, after some hesitation, learns that adapting can actually lead to something way better. So, in the beginning, life is good. All 4 of them find this massive stash of cheese at a place they call Cheese Station P. For a salesperson, this is the dream, right? You've got a hot product, a market that's ready to buy, clients lining up. Everything feels easy, and you think it's going to last forever. But here's where it gets really interesting. The difference in their attitude while things are great. The mice, Sniff and Scurry, they stay on their toes. They're still showing up early, checking the supply, and they notice the cheese is getting a little old, a little smaller each day. Meanwhile, the little people, Hem and Haw, they get lazy. They get comfortable. They start taking it all for granted, totally convinced that this perfect situation is permanent. And then, of course, the inevitable happens. They walk in one morning and Cheese Station P is totally, completely empty. The market shifted, the big client signed with a competitor, that foolproof sales script stopped working. Their cheese is gone. And their reactions could not be more different. For the mice, it's no big deal. They kind of saw it coming, so what do? They just lace up their running shoes and head straight back into the maze to find new cheese. Simple. But Hem and Haw, they're totally paralyzed. They're shocked, they're angry, they waste all this energy asking, "Who moved my cheese? This isn't fair." They just can't accept that reality has changed. It's such a simple story, but this is where it gets real. It's time to turn the mirror around and ask ourselves a tough question. Who are you in this scenario? And be honest. When that deal you were counting on just disappears, or a new competitor comes in and completely undercuts your price, what's your first reaction? Are you like the mice, immediately thinking, okay, that stinks, what's next, where's the new opportunity? Or are you a bit more like Hem and Haw, complaining to your coworkers, blaming the marketing department, just wishing things would go back to the good old days? So back in the story, as Haw finally gets the courage to go back into the maze, he starts writing what he's learning on the walls. And these little messages, they are pure gold for anyone in sales. This question right here is maybe the most powerful one in the entire book. See, it's fear that keeps us stuck in an empty cheese station. Fear of making cold calls, fear of trying a new sales strategy, fear of rejection. Haw realizes that what he was picturing in his head was way worse than the actual reality. Just asking yourself this one simple question can be the key to unlocking action. So, it's all about shifting your mindset. Haw's writings give us 4 ways to adapt fast. First, pay attention to the small stuff so you can see big changes coming. Be like the mice. Notice when your email open rates are dipping. Second, stop overanalyzing and just do something. The mice didn't sit around and make a PowerPoint about the problem. They just started running. Third, the faster you let go of that old cheese, the sooner you find something new. Every minute you spend chasing a dead lead is a minute you're not finding a live one. And finally, stop blaming people. Accept the situation and start finding a solution. That's it. And at the end of the day, the biggest lesson is this. It wasn't the maze or the competition that held Hem and Haw back. It was their own comfort, their own fear, and their refusal to accept reality. The biggest obstacle to finding new cheese is almost always inside our own heads.
Okay, so how do you actually find it? It really boils down to 3 actions. 1, be proactive. Don't sit around waiting for opportunities to fall in your lap. You got to go hunt for that new cheese. 2, visualize your success. Ha kept himself going by imagining how great that new cheese was going to taste. Picture yourself closing that next big deal. And 3, learn to actually enjoy the process. If you see the hunt for new business as an exciting adventure instead of a chore, it completely changes the game.
And that brings us to the ultimate point of this whole thing. The goal isn't just to find a piece of cheese and protect it. The real goal is to become the kind of person who's always ready for the cheese to move.
The absolute best salespeople aren't just reacting to change. They're anticipating it. They're using it to their advantage. They see a market shift not as a problem, but as a golden opportunity to get way ahead of the competition. They're always learning, always adapting, and always moving toward that next big score.
So, I'll just leave you with this. The cheese has already moved. In fact, it's always moving. The real question isn't if it will happen, but what are you going to do about it? Where is that new opportunity in your market right now? What new skill could you learn? What old belief is holding you back? Your new cheese is out there. The only question is, are you ready to go find it?